Okay guys, I'm back for another round on the Sorcerer. So, last time I cleared Catacombs, and this time it's time for Caves on Nightmare difficulty. Whatever gold I had from last, I spent it on spellbooks, and I'm currently down to one stack, so about less than 5,000. I still have a ring of magic resistance, but I'm gonna keep the fire and lightning for now. Further, I have 6 scrolls of infravision. They are a helper when you are sort of a little squishy for the area, and I would argue that I am. So what I do is I sort of unload my extra scrolls here. Just for the fun of it.
What can I do for you?
Talk to Griswold, see if there's anything interesting. I haven't got any money for it, but yeah, he will keep the stuff that he has for quite a while. And I've noticed that he will only exchange a few of the items if you manage to get a new level. And to be honest, I don't think I'm anywhere close to level. Currently I have 7,729,732 experience, and I need over 9 million, so I need quite a bit. I'm just gonna set up my spells, and I think I'm actually gonna maybe start on my chain lightning. Okay, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I think I will. So fireball, always chain lightning, stone curse for being sort of cornered, and teleport for defense. So fireball, chain lightning, stone curse, and teleport, my 4 available hotkeys. I'm gonna go...
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Mana shield every time before I sort of descend into a dungeon. Too bad I don't have 16,000, but it's okay. I'll get the rest of the books of Mana Shield eventually, and what the book of Mana Shield will do is just make it a bit cheaper to cast the spell, actually. So currently, just as an example, we got... Mana Shield, let's see, it's a level 3 spell actually, so it's up here. Currently it's a level 4 spell and it costs 33 mana. I can imagine as level 4 it'll be, level 5 actually. We can actually, we can test it if we want to, because my spells are increased by 1 level due to my armor. So if currently, as you can see, it was 33 mana as level 4, and this piece of armor sort of increases my spells with 1. So now my spell should be level 3. And it's still 33 mana. So it's not every time you'll get a reduction, actually. Same amount of mana as level 4. It's seen before because you could say that sort of the benefit you're getting from Mana Shield is the same. It's that your 100% damage taken is taken from your mana pool. Anyway, I'm gonna use my information here right away, and you can see just around the corner here we got business already. Decent spot to start here actually, because this guy may be losing fire. He's not. I just couldn't hit him because I got a bit of a sort of a bottleneck here and there as well, where I can sort of engage the mobs. I got another bottleneck here, and mobs coming from behind as well. It's okay. Not to get too many mobs. I'm gonna move over here, because I knew that the mobs would get a little stuck there. And I would say these mobs are sort of more terrifying to look at than they actually are. I think the worst part of these mobs are when they are sort of charging you, and they need sort of a bit of a what do you call it? A sort of space to sort of run at you like that. I'm not a big fan here of caves because it's a hard sort of geographical area, you could say, the way the area is built up. There's not that many bottlenecks where you can sort of funnel mobs in. The easy part of this though is... Oh nice. Elixir dexterity, yeah sure I'll take it. That's just +1 dexterity. But on the other hand, I'm fairly easy with these mobs. There could be mobs that are a lot more annoying than these, or dangerous you could say. Now I got two kinds of pretty much just mobs doing the same thing. One of them might have a little more resistance to say fire or lightning or whatever. But besides that, they're pretty much the same. And I think we are talking on maps. We are talking minimum 2 different mobs, usually 4, maybe sometimes 3 and 4. Big back down here. I'm just gonna try and close here, so they can only pass one by one. And I'm simply face tanking whatever comes across here. Mana pool. Yeah, Fireball is doing its thing. Fireball will keep being sort of the workhorse of the damage spells for Sorcerer, along with chain lightning. So I pretty much have the setup already now that I'm gonna continue having all the way through. There can be minor changes, let's say when if I want to fight Diablo or... I'm gonna fall back a little. My armor class is so weak that I'll be hit pretty much by every single hit here from the mob, so... I don't want to be too speed. Oh, let's see. Thought he might be immune. Maybe he is. Yeah, well, he is definitely. The amount of pain, the amount of damage he can take is pretty crazy. So, the life control. And I guess he didn't like that too much. I mean, if the mob is able to survive, say, 10 fireballs, he's definitely got some strong resist against fire. He did take damage from it. He could have been immune, by the way. And a scroll of mana shield. You know what? I'm picking it up. It's 300 gold, and as long as I got boom, then yeah, sure, why not? It looked like a ring drop. I'm not 100% sure. It was a bow. It looked like a ring though. Sometimes when the fight is pretty noisy, the mobs are noisy, and my spell is noisy, then it's hard to hear finishing drops, even fine. Especially stuff like or gear like rings and bows, especially they're all, and leather armor or cloth armor as well. Anyway, name of the game here is just on this level. Anyway, it's just don't be surrounded really. And I should never be that actually. Big pile of mobs down here, so I'm falling back to my my bottleneck where I can sort of funnel them in. I could hear that they were able to open the door Alrighty, let's see. No loot. Oh, no loot? Nope. They may have been able to open the door, but not all of them have gone out though. think the developers did an extremely good job of sort of the vibe down here is kind of spooky from the sound. I mean. So there seems to be a rather huge area over here that I haven't covered. Maybe there's a small path. Yeah, there is a small pathway here. So we got the level up to level 8. That's up to catacombs that I cleared last. Not on this precise map, but level 8 is one of the catacombs levels, which is generated in the game, of course. It's probably generated if I were to go there. What I mean, rather. Ouch. No loot. Hello, boys. So they seem to rather cleverly try to sort of surround me, and they almost did, and that could definitely be kind of lethal for me. So I noticed that some of the mobs went this way instead of just tailing me the other way. And I can handle a couple, no problem, but I'd prefer not to have more than 2 sort of using their... Oh, that's actually unique. So, starting out fresh here. I don't think it's very good, especially not for Sorcerer, but I seem to be getting my share of the uniques, you could say. Yeah. I'll give them that. They are pretty sneaky, sort of trying to gang up. And again, due to had I been a warrior, it would have been a different story. I could handle mobs like that as a warrior at this level, but as Sorcerer and as Rogue as well, not so funny due to weak armor class. Checking every corner here, mainly for if there's some sneaky one of these guys. If I were to come in a tight spot where I'm in trouble, I definitely don't want one of these guys coming charging from behind on top, so that's why. So there actually was a sort of entry to this area here from down here as well. I mean to this whole area here. And I think that was pretty much it. So I could use my teleport spell. There you go. And just to show you when it has a little bit to do with when I was fighting Diablo actually, is that on normal before I changed to nightmare difficulty like here, it's just to show you that when you reach say level 9 for instance, you will have of course you can go down to level 10, but you can also go up to level 8. And then you have the special option, you could say. So normally there's one way up, one way down. But then when it's sort of a different geographical area, it's like when you start like cathedral to catacombs, and from catacombs to caves, and from caves to hell, then there will be one extra, you could say, stair. So this time we got 3 stairs on a level like this, because there will also be a level up to town. And that has to do with just the way that I came down here, that there needs to be a stair from the town down to this very area. So to be honest, yeah, I'm not that spooked, but on the other hand, this area can be really tough, and why not use my fine scrolls down here? I actually have 4 more of them, or 5. I'm just gonna identify what I got
friend.
Here.
Stay a while and listen.
Schaefer's hammer and shield of crap, I was about to say. Minus 100% damage. The rest are pretty good stats, but minus 100% damage, I don't think so. But you get the lightning hit damage 1 to 50 instead, so I think for a new warrior it would be actually quite a great one-hander.
Well, what can I do for you?
And it did give 14,000 gold. I'll take that, and I'll take a scroll of infravision. It's not like I want to use infravision all the time or something like that, definitely not. But I think caves can be really hard to sort of get a foothold on sometimes, also because there can be sort of these hidden mobs that I really dislike a lot, because you can't see them and all of a sudden you got a lot of them sort of hitting on you. Sounds kind of wrong, but that's actually what they're doing, and they will sort of
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Ability to cast a spell a lot when they actually hit you. I'm just gonna sell this scroll of mana shields. And maybe I should look if she has a book as well. And the problem is with these hidden mobs, and when they're sort of able to hit you, and they will hit me a lot because my armor class is pretty crap, even with this very fine and best in slot chest plate. They will hit me a lot, so I won't be able to get any spells off, and more of them will pile in, meaning that eventually I'm completely sort of locked in place. Yeah. There's no reason to have mana shield ready because I'm still at the level that I just cleared. Let's give it a go. So mana shield up, provision up, and I can see I got mobs here already. That's some kind of lava thingy. I can get a little freebie here with a very tiny extra area to do a fighting retreat on, is what I meant. Here we go. And even though the sort of lava guy there that died pretty fast due to my chain lightning, even though he was even though he's sort of a ranged, he's casting lava. You'll see a couple more. Then they do pack quite a punch on top in melee. Chain lightning is really good now because it's all being funneled the same way. and that's how the spell
I cannot carry
really
anymore.
works. But I'm glad I used my intuition, so like I said, it's both critical here in the beginning, so I have a little room to maneuver. Yeah. Okay, these guys doesn't like lighting either, so I might as well just use my chain lighting spell. I could use normal lighting, it might be a good idea as well, because chain lighting tries to sort of spread out wherever it can sort of find a mob, but on the other hand, it'll not try to sort of, if I cast it here, it wouldn't try to go there and there because it's sort of thick wall between, but
where would I put this?
yeah, this one is magic, so it's quite a few bucks. Normally I'll take it. But what you...
Where would I put this?
Yeah, great. So I'd like to position myself in a way so that all my lighting from chain lighting will go in the same direction. And that's why I prefer to explore an area up here where I can sort of close more of the total area, you could say, so that none of my lightnings from the chain lighting spell will go north, you could say. Because I am at the sort of top point north. And as you can see here, all my lightnings are going in the same direction. South, meaning south. Disadvantage from chain lighting is all the sort of surplus lighting, or maybe just the lightings that are traveling through a mob that it kills, can aggro massive stacks of mobs from other parts of the level, and that could become a problem. So I need to sort of be aware of all the time in which direction I wanna sort of run away if I'm gonna get in trouble. So I'll try to funnel the mobs in. And always a good idea if you can hear one of these mobs sort of charging, is move a little bit to the side. At least you won't be interrupted or taking that damage from the charge then. And as you can see instantly when I'm sort of a little bit in trouble, I'm sort of retreating the same way as I came. I'm not sort of walking into an area that I haven't explored yet. And that's what I'm doing again here. There's a nice doorway down here. It would be nice to sort of conquer that eventually, because I'll have a sweet doorway to fight in. And one of the mobs actually opened the door down there. You could hear that. And as long as my lightnings are sort of moving in the same direction, then everything's honky-dory or sweet. Like here. So now I have a sweet doorway here. This guy was about to charge, but I think he hit a bit of, cliff there or something, so kind of screwed up for him. Good for me. And we got exit to level 11, but we're gonna do a full clear as usual. Or at least attempt it. So when you killed a couple of mobs here in this sort of bottleneck where you can't really see, it's always a good idea to just use the cursor from left to right, and there was actually like 3 stacks of gold there, not too bad. Okay, so I got mobs here from 2 sides, so I'm falling back to my sort of known area. This way I can sort of safely retreat and... and the other bonus to that is that I'm funneling the mobs into the same sort of killing field where all the lightnings are going in the same direction. I think Chain Lightning is definitely the hardest spell to master, but when you've done it quite a bit, it's extremely sort of almost overpowered. But it could be a good idea if you have trouble, if you want to try it out. If you have trouble sort of mastering it, the Chain Lightning spell, be a good idea to start using the Lightning spell. Also, the Lightning spell is more mana efficient, so while you're building up a decent mana pool, I'm currently at... oh, wrong button. Pressed V instead of C, so I'm currently at 588 my total mana pool. And the Chain Lightning spell, it's kind of sucky at level... I'd say 1, 2, because from getting higher level, currently level 4, you'll get a reduced mana cost and you'll get more damage, but you'll also get additional lightnings. Not like 1 extra lightning per spell, but yeah, I haven't got the numbers quite how many lightnings you get and how many there are total. But when you reach the maximum spell level of 20 plus, and that's from, I think maximum spell level is 15, but you can, from items like for instance my chest piece here, you can sort of raise your spells levels above cap, you could say, which is 15 as I recall. By the way, this guy, even though he was ranged, the lava dude there, you can see due to him hitting so hard, he's sort of hitting me with like 2 handers, meaning his 2 fists. I was kind of getting, you know, stunned so that I couldn't get a spell off. That was one of these guys, so imagine having like 5, 6 of them hitting you at the same time. That means you're screwed and you'll probably have to save an extra grenade in order to survive. If you're lucky, you can probably get to like move away from them. So it's extremely important to keep distance to these guys all the time. Get some aggro like I did here from my light range, and then I'm just falling back, funneling them off with my killing field. Have to be keeping my mana pool up at all times, so I need to have an eye on my pool. And mainly I'm losing my mana from using Chain Lightning. It's it's an expensive spell to cast. Chain Lightning is 27 mana. You can see my Fireball is 13. So currently Chain Lightning is costing more than double of a Fireball. And that will put a dent in my mana pool, of course. Alright, so it looks cleared up here. I think there's a little bit over here. It seems a little bit unfinished. Yeah, hello. And to be honest, I think that was about it, guys. Oh. Tiny bit here, and as you can see, a little bit an enclosure like this will often contain a magic item. Not always, but often, and that's why I did sort of search it now that I came by. And as you can see, there was a magic staff. If nothing else, at least for the gold. Oh, there was a ring here, or an amulet. That's another good reason why you shouldn't just, you know, spray your train lighting all over the map without sort of any control about where it's going. Because if you hear this pling sound, meaning that you get a ring or amulet, it can be pretty much hell on earth to actually trying to retrieve that item, because you don't really know where it dropped. I mean, it can happen too if you sort of control your spells as much as possible, because there could be a lightning spell that goes, say, between these two cliffs and hit mobs way up north. That could actually kill them, and sometimes you will be able to hear that that item drop. Going up to town again, because again I'd like to use my what is that called? Infravision spells. Yeah, here. There we go. At least for starters, to make
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Decent armor actually, but yeah, I got bested slot, so I'm not going to change it. But it would be a nice item for, yeah, if I didn't have what I already had. Pearl amulet, yeah, not so good.
Well, what can I do for you?
I have. So there we go. Repairing. Not this soap. It was the staff that I picked up, and I'm just gonna sell it. You get the same amount of gold from the witch. She will take the staff, if it's fully repaired or not. So there's no need to repair an item that you want to sell.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
There we go. She might have a book or two, so I'm just gonna check that out before I fill up with mana. She didn't. She did have Elixir of Magic, and for people that haven't seen before, it's I'll get one magic permanently, meaning 2 extra mana. So it'll be 175, and for 590 when used as one magic for Sorcerer is the same as, or the equivalent as 2 mana points. I'm gonna drop the gold so it doesn't fill up in my bags while I sort of refill mana fully. There we go, and I'm just gonna spend.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
For yeah, I always preferred the half mana. On a warrior, I would play primarily with half healings, because I don't know, it's just my nature that I want to sort of optimize what I have. So I know that if I have full mana, I have the weakness sort of built in me as a person, is that I'll try to sort of, you know, get as low or as mana as possible before I use the full mana pot. And that's not smart, especially not when you're playing this game hardcore, but it's not smart in general, because yeah, I can take a ton of damage, and at the same time while I'm casting spells. Okay. These guys are definitely not my favorite, because they're fast and they are oh, I hit it great too, I can do that. But the other guys, they are fast and they are heavy. They are sort of fast. They move fast and they attack fast. That means if they get a hold of me, I'm pretty screwed. So just for safety... Oh. Just gonna kill this guy as well. I think some of these mobs are coming at me due to that I hit them. I mean, some of my fireballs sort of pass through, or and you can see, but they passed. Some of my fireballs passed through, and then they hit some other mobs, and that's why I got the aggro. As you can see, as before, you got this enclosure here, and in the enclosure you have an item. So I think I'm gonna use the doorway here. Try to maybe lure a few more mobs in here. I can't even pick up this this item, so I haven't got room due to my mana. But as you can see now, I already have quite a bit of room to maneuver already. I'm just double checking down there, there's no mobs. Always on the ready to sort of fall back to the items that I have already explored. And yeah, putting up my town portal there just to remind myself that there was actually an item down here. When you have a huge pile of mobs like this, sometimes it could be a good it'll be a good spot to move to, like where I am now, far away from the doorway, because the mobs will sort of lump up here, you could say. Just testing if chain lightning is better. Because it was on the other mobs, but not on this one. So there's a doorway over here. I was probably a bit hard to hear through all the combat noise. There's a doorway over here, and if I were to go to the doorway, the mobs will follow me there, and they can actually open the door, so it would be pretty stupid standing there. They sort of bunched up here due to my light radius, and they aren't that clever, so they could sort of, at least not these kind of mobs, that they could go to the doorway and open it. Anyway, we got a level. Thank you. And I got room to pick up the helmet now. Just gonna do that. It's a cap actually, but I'll try to pick up any magic items, of course. I think there was a sword as well. There was a rare mob up here. Yeah. Okay, they can't come behind me. There was one mob sort of sneaking around down here. And I think 2 mobs probably maximum what I can sort of endure. These, I mean, hitting on me on the safe side. Okay, this item is complete crap. I mean, the stat that it has, Cap of Thieves, is just useless. And the game knows that, so I won't be able to get a lot of gold from it. So a mail, like the one I just picked up there, even though if it had the same stats, it will give you way more gold. Due to the sort of just the nature of the item, that it's a mail and not some cloth headpiece. I'm just gonna go down here. I got mobs coming from behind. Actually, I'm not sure if the drakes can open doors, and they probably can because it's one of these guys as well, so I'm just falling back. I don't want mobs coming from 2 sides. Then all of a sudden the doorway is not the best place to be. While I'm waiting for this guy to come to me, I can put some of the dummies down here that can't get out by themselves. There we go. One thing, by the way, that chain lightning is pretty good at is showing where the mobs are on the map. If you have doubts, I mean, so if I had lightnings going this way, then I would know that there were mobs very close in the vicinity if the lighting's sort of trying to work their way this way. And none of them seem to do that, so the mobs must be at least some way higher up. They're not completely around the corner. Oh, interesting. There's actually covered there. Anyway, a couple of nice doorways here to fight in. And checking the corners so I won't get any nasty surprises. Again, you have to remember that the way the mobs get aggro is from light radius, and maybe the light radius won't be able to sort of get to the mob due to the sort of cliff formations. So you could pass a mob that eventually then all of a sudden will see you, and while you're engaged in a pretty tough fight, then all of a sudden you'll get mobs coming from behind where you thought you had cleared, and yeah, panic mode is imminent. So I prefer checking my corners, expecting the worst. And we got a magic item, that's nice. Boys falling back definitely. And I finally used teleport here because I was sort of getting cornered. It's actually getting a little spooked there because I was getting cornered. So yeah. Make sure you are able to think while being under pressure. That's always a good thing in real life as well, yes. Was a nice doorway up here to fight in, but I didn't make it because the mob sort of opened the doors themselves. And as you can see again, they're clever enough that they're, you know, trying to surround you fully. Just with my light radius, I'm just funneling the mobs in here inside the tunnel. And while I have peace and quiet, I'm filling up my mana. But yeah, 1 I can handle, 2 I can maybe get away from, maybe not. But like I said, if I'm stuck, I'm playing the game, yeah, in my own sort of hardcore version, but I'm always entitled to, if I can make it, because sometimes I pretty much die in a second or two. If I can make it, I can always escape with Diablo. It's pretty much just taking a bit of in World of Warcraft. It pretty much does the same thing. So you get out of the game, and if you manage to get out of the game, then everything is, yeah, mobs can't get to you, of course. Back to the doorway. I try not to play that way because it is really cheesy, I admit it. But there can be situations where you didn't really have a chance. Like I said, especially with these hidden mobs. But yeah, it's possible to make an error as well. I'm only human. But that's sort of the setup and the kind of, you could say, the hardcore that I'm playing. My kind of hardcore, you could say. But yeah, I'll try not to use it too much. But as you can see, there are like 2 more of these guys, and I'm not able to move, so I can just die or I can escape the game. And it's an option in the game. It's not like I'm, unless I put up that I wasn't allowed to do so. But as I know how hard the game can be, eventually it will be pretty suicidal not to allow myself that option. I mean, when you're checking a corner like that, it's almost impossible to see if there's any mobs around. I could pretty much be running into 2 or 3 of those guys really easily. Now, ways to avoid it, and I could show you one of them would be a Guardian. I think I actually have that spell. You could set up a Guardian, and that would tell you if the corner was... there we are. It looks kind of funny, but it's like a small drake you set up, and it'll shoot fire bolts if there's any mobs in the vicinity of it. So it's not like I'm completely defenseless against, you could say, corners that I haven't cleared. By the way, these... Oh, got a lot of mobs incoming. So there was a nice doorway down here. Why not take it? The big pile of drakes up here that I killed. I didn't get the loot from the boss. Was I think a broadsword. There we go. Might have been another item. I haven't really checked the pile of loot here. While this guy is making loot. Also, you can test shoot like this, of course. See if you are lucky enough to hit something. And again, checking my corners. Hello. As you can see, this was really close to going badly. Got to this major pack around the corner. Just gonna block the door with my face. Again, checking my corner if there was some leftover that I dumped aggro of because I went away, and yeah, if he cannot see my light radius, eventually they will just stop. The mobs had a chance to sort of come from the other side, and I kind of figured that out, so that's why I'm going further south. This little land bridge here, it counts pretty much as a doorway as well. I mean, the mobs can only pass one by one there, so if I get in trouble up here, I already know instinctively that I'm going to go down, position myself here. And you could say, when is that? That is when I feel I'm getting overwhelmed by mobs. That I'm not sure that I can kill them all before they get to me. Little trick you can use here. I could just walk around and get the money, but I can also use telekinesis. Can even open chests with this. Take the money. There we go. It's just a little lazy way of getting your stuff. So I can see it's not fully cleared up here. Again, I'm checking my corners. For all I know, there could be standing 10 mobs there that all of a sudden falls into my back. But it's starting to look like a full clear. There's a little bit in here, I think, and that's about it. Hello. Yeah, that's it. So exit was, I think, yeah, down in the corner here somewhere. When using teleport like this, it's fine. I mean, when you cleared the map. There's no reason to just, you know, spam it, because if there was an area that you had accidentally that you hadn't done, it would kind of suck to teleport right in the middle of a ton of mobs. So, like before, I have my scrolls of infravision, so why not use them? I could have been already in the level I was in. I could have been in trouble if I had just advanced with a little bit more.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Uncautiously. Yeah, nothing that interesting, but it's gold nonetheless.
Well, what can I do for you?
Pairing. There we go. Oh, and yeah. Better pick up what I actually mainly came for, and yeah, of course I need new mana pots as well.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
So she had two interesting items, elixir strength, sure, and there was infravision as well. So I'm just gonna drink the strength pot. Yeah, it might give me a little extra damage. It didn't, but it's mainly due to the more strength I have, the more sort of powerful items I can carry. At the moment, this doesn't require any strength, nor does this, and nor does this. So, but that could change. Eventually, the best setup for Sorcerer is actually a one-hander and a shield.
I sense a soul in search of answers.
Strength could be useful there. So I'm just gonna fill up with mana. That's it. And it's back to business. So down to clear the final level of this episode. I'm currently at 9,940,132 and I need 12 million. So yeah. It's also a way showing this experience is it's the way that the game is sort of forcing you to advance in difficulty level, because you won't be able to get any sort of experience. Okay, so these guys again, great. There's a doorway here that could be useful, so I'm trying to clear the area down here, and I'm moving. You can see I'm advancing very carefully. So we got some of these guys again. They don't like fire, and all of these ladies and succubus. Major pack here of mobs. Just having the sort of range follow me. There we go. But what I really need here is I need a doorway to fight in, like this one. So instead of sort of engaging that huge pack up there, I think I want to go up here instead. And then I have to realize that at some point My information is gonna expire. And you won't get a notice when your infravision expires, it just does. Okay, so we got some kind of doggies here as well. I don't like fireball either, so you can see that part of it is pretty easy. I don't have to change my sort of attack approach, you could say. I'm standing in the spit from the dog. It doesn't hurt that much, but yeah. But as you can probably sense already now, then I've got a decent amount of room to hide it. And still, my infravision is still running. I don't know how long it works, but it looks like it's maybe out of 5 minutes, something like that. The succubus here you can find on hell, on the next area, you could say on hell difficulty, not caves like I'm in now. But it's rather normal that on level 12 that's typically one sort of hell mob. The dogs, or what they're called, pit beasts, they could be down here as well, but in a stronger version. And as you can see here, just one of these guys and I'm pretty much in trouble. I couldn't move away from these guys. So you are definitely dead. Glass cannon. Okay. Got other methods here. Yeah, it's just me fumbling around in my spells. I mean, the reason why I used chain lightning. There we go. As you can see, the spit is actually your acid or whatever it is. It's actually lying around for quite a long time. There we go. Might be some kind of rare card. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I think it was some kind of rare, even though, yeah, there we go. Yeah, because there were quite a lot of them, and they did hurt quite a bit. So I'm just gonna move over here and refill my mana. I'm not quite sure if but they seem to be, they used a lot of fireballs and they didn't really want to die, not to mention that there was quite a pack of them, and that's why I sort of figured, okay, this gotta be the rare. Okay, so she's immune to fire. At least one of them. I could try Holy Bolt, actually. Don't care about that. So the only option I have here just has some really sick but now it's trying to save. And she actually dropped a ring, that's pretty, or an amulet, that's pretty cool. A semi-boss like this, or sub-boss, or what you want to call her. Yeah, succubus, sub-boss. She can actually drop some pretty decent stats on an item. But on bosses like this, you get the little advantage, at least as a caster, that you can see that they have what kind of, if they have immunities. Ooh. It's yeah, it's my second unique of the day, and it's actually crap. I know that because all the unique rings are yeah, they're pretty crappy. They are unique in the sense that they'll have stuff that you won't see on any other items, but stats are just really too poor. Just gonna pick up the loot. There we go. Not the loot, well, the boss loot, the rest of the gold. So while this dog is sort of figuring out where we want to go. Oh, another ring, thank you very much. There we go. So it's kind of a good spot here because I thought I had all the mobs on the other side of this lava river, you could say. Staff of Nova, yeah, sure. It can be sold. It's just a white staff, but due to the charges, 87 charges of Nova, it's spell that I cannot get as a sort of as a spell book, but yeah. So it's high-end. I think it's considered high-end sort of spells. What I could do actually is I just want to check while I'm standing here safely. Just gonna exchange the staff and just gonna see if it actually turns up in my spellbook, and it does. So the reason why this slot will never be filled by a sort of a book, meaning a blue spell, is due to this slot up here is sort of reserved for Nova. As you can see, all the other slots here. Well, I think I'll fill this up eventually as well. I don't recall from what spell though. I got all the level 3, but the level 4 section will not contain all those spells. And yeah, back to business. My tongue was making tricks on me. There we go. But I would say of the mobs here, these sort of the blue sort of dragon guys are probably the worst for me because they move fast and they hit fast, whereas the dogs prefer sort of to use their spit, and it's not that dangerous for me as a ranged. It's easier to avoid the spit that. Oh. So major pack down here. And again checking my corner, and as you can see it actually bore fruit. It's kind of funny sometimes with the mob that came here. I knew that she has... I don't even know how many fireballs I sent her, but it's like a rhythm, pretty much like a drum. Eventually your ear or your brain will sort of catch up how many exactly shots the mob needs. Drum is probably wrong, but there's like a rhythm to it, so I think it's 4. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, that's where I got the drum sort of idea from. So it's like bang, 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 and so your ear and your brain will sort of eventually catch that, and I'm just, you know, without even thinking too much of it, I'm just casting 4 fireballs. So this was the area initially that I didn't like too much. Some of these ladies here died before they got the 4 fireballs, but it's not entirely true because there's a splash damage on fireball, meaning that it'll do area of effect or AoE damage. So if you're hitting a mob and there's another mob right behind it, they will both take damage. It's actually symbolized on the spell because you can see there's this sort of I suppose it's splash, but it's also maybe to show that this spell is not fire bolt, for example. As you can see, it's actually the same icon, except that there aren't the Firebolt doesn't have any splash, and also it does way less damage. Firebolt is the very first spell that I actually used. So there's a corner down here with a couple of mobs that I haven't cleared, and normally I do that. But I know that over here there was a major pack, and I prefer not to engage that pack before I got a nice flat doorway to fight in. So now that I haven't got any aggro due to my light radius, I'm just gonna... I prefer to clear this area first. I expect more of these blue guys, so I'm just falling back to my doorway. If there is the massive pack that I actually think that there is over here, and I saw that initially when I had the infravision spell on me, then I prefer to have this really sweet doorway to fight in. So here we got one of the what do you call them? Sort of I forgot what they're called in English actually, but also this sort of little square fenced area here. But often there could be an item inside, and yeah. So naturally, I'm checking out the fenced area. Interesting because I think the last level I actually recall what they're called. But let's just call it a fenced area. So if I wanted to play this pretty safely, I'm pretty much sort of locking myself up here, blocking the entrance with my face, sort of. And the damage I was taking was due to me standing in this spit or acid from the doggy, the lava beast or whatever it's called. But about sort of the blue guys here, these storm riders here. It's always good to, I think, to sort of locate your worst foe. on the map. Because this way you sort of instinctively know when to pretty much retreat instantly. Bit low on mana. I got an idea that I can clear it, but if not, then I'll just have to go to town. This corner I can actually clear by being on the other side of the fence, and why not play as safely as possible. Okay, and this I cleared already. So all I need now, I'm just gonna scroll around the map completely. I need something initially where I started. There was a major pack down there. So this is my doorway to fight in. If I have to, I can fall back to here. And this was, I suppose, the infamous big pack. There we go. But it wouldn't have been all that fun sort of walking into a pack that size, especially if you haven't sort of cleared the map and got a sort of an overview of where you want to sort of retreat, do your fighting retreat to. Which just makes these sort of scrolls of infravision that more valuable. Anyway, I'm just gonna show you that the next level, 13, is hell. And be a cheeky. Oh, I could open the chest bit, but because I was sort of standing where the portal was, I just got teleported. Anyway, there wasn't anything in the chest. So, I'm currently at around 10 million, 10.6, and I need 12 for the next level. I'm just gonna pick up whatever I have here. And...
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
The ring wasn't that great. And Ring of Engagement, yeah, I think it's the only actually unique ring there is. So, -1 damage from enemies, attacker takes 1 to 3 damage, armor class 5, damages target's armor. So damages target's armor, I think, is what make this this ring unique. It's probably good for, I don't know, some low-level warrior. I haven't really seen it used on any high-level warriors due to the damages target's armor.
What can I do for you?
Yeah, it's just gonna be sold, guys. This was my magic resist ring. I'll keep it for now. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sell some of the stuff that and as you can see, the Ring of Engagement only gives me like around 3,000 gold. I'm not complaining, but it's not that valuable. Repairing, Crown of Sorcery, nice plate. That's about it. I'm not even gonna repair the shield. It's what I have from, I think, when I cleared normal hell difficulty, actually. Golem I can sell. That's why I picked it up. Some of these spell scrolls are actually worth quite a bit of money. The high-level spells, like, say, the Staff of Nova, I still have that. Yeah. I'm gonna go sell that by the witch now, so you can see what it's actually worth. I can imagine, I don't know, at least 2,000, maybe more. I'm not quite sure, but some. And as I can use gold at the moment, yeah, sure, I'll pick it up, even though
I
it's a
sense a soul in search of answers.
Nova, not Noma, but 2,000 gold. And Scroll of Golem, 275. fine. I'll take it. Let's see
I
if she
sense a
has anything
soul
of
in
interest
search of answers.
besides mana. Now that I'm here. Not really. Drake, by the way, mana plus 41. It's sort of a tier of prefix to an item. So an item can have a prefix and a suffix, and this is a better example. Lord is the to hit and damage. The top tier of this kind of lords, I think you start out with it maybe with warrior or something like that, and then you end up with kings. Top tier is kings, but this is a lord staff of healing, meaning prefix is lords and suffix is healing. Whereas this staff, same Drake, staff of elemental, prefix is Drake and suffix is elemental, and this item only have a prefix, meaning a staff of haste. Oh yeah, so the haste is the staff is just the item, but the haste is the actual prefix. To be honest, I think it's a suffix actually, meaning, and that's why it's after the sort of the item name. It's a staff of haste, so this is a suffix actually. Because, and the reason why I know that is that the best in slot one-handed sword for warrior is called King's Sword of Haste, meaning that King's is the prefix and Haste is the suffix. Anyway, just a little extra sort of information about how items are generated, or not how they're generated, but more like what kind of names they are given, you could say. Or how it works. So you will never find an item, for instance, that is called Haste Sword of Kings. It'll never be that way around. It'll always be King's Sword of Haste, if that were the actual item. So as usual, guys, thanks a lot for watching. What I'm gonna do is my sorcerer here, who is now level 28, is gonna spend all his gold on not booze and hookers, but on spell books, and if I'm really lucky, maybe an item. I can imagine a staff or a new helmet, but what I have is pretty decent actually. So yeah, I can do, for new guys that have watched, I can show you what I actually have at the moment. So I got plus 28 magic, that's the same as 56 mana and lightning resist. And I got a Crown of Sorcery that will give me plus 38 mana from 19 magic. Fire resist ring. And 13 to all attributes. I got this on normal difficulty in the hell area. I got my extremely nice plate that are actually best in slot. It dropped from a rare mob on a normal hell difficulty as well. And then finally I got the necklace, Amulet of the Zodiac. It dropped from a mob down at the final level on normal hell by Diablo. Not by Diablo, but from one of his minions. So very, very, very good loot run I actually had there. So the shield I have dropped from a mob down there. I'm keeping it for now because when I reach hell difficulty, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a debuff of minus 50 to resists, and that can be lethal if you get hit by a couple of, I don't know, spells at the same time and you have minus 50 resist. It'll hurt like insanely a lot. So it might be an idea to be able to equip a nice 36 resist all shield. That's also why I have this magic ring here with resist magic 30% and faster hit recovery as well. Again, you got the prefix and the suffix here. So the prefix is resist magic, and meaning pearl. Pearl will give you resist magic, probably from, let's say, from 25 to 30%. And stability is a form of recovery. So when you do get hit by something, then your character will be able to recover and hit or cast spells in return. That's it, guys. That is what I have for now. And as usual, thank you very much for watching. I hope I see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.